Hey man, it's your boy MMA Habits back at it again with another video, giving you my reaction and breakdown to the UFC Fight Night Atlanta Usman versus Buckley. Okay, I recorded this video yesterday, but apparently the audio wasn't on the whole time, so it was just a 30-minute video of no audio. So that kind of sucked for me. But here we are today, giving you my reaction and breakdown, maybe better revised version than it would have been previously. So overall, this card was kind of mid. Like the early prelims, there were like some finishes, some TKOs. But then for the past 7 fights until sort of the main event, it was just decisions. The main event was a decision as well, but they were just very, very lackluster fights during the main card. Very boring fights overall. But, there were some finishes. Malcolm Wellmaker got a nice KO. A couple people had some fucking Paul Craig had an interesting situation. Rodolfo Bellato. But yeah, let's move into these breakdowns right here. Let's just start off with the main event. Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman. Numensa. Numensa didn't win, unfortunately. Has the IQ of a rock, potentially, or I don't know what was going through his head. But I understand, I guess, that, he starts stuffing takedowns only in the 5th round, which is kind of crazy. But a lot of people were saying this is what Buckley should have been doing that early on. Why is he, does he forget how to defend a takedown until the 5th round? I'm like, dude, Usman is gassed. In the first few rounds, first, second, third round, yeah, Usman's probably gonna, he's gonna take him down because he's fresh a little bit more than he is in the 5th round. So obviously in the 5th round he's not gonna be getting those takedowns as much. But yeah, the Buckley kind of just got dominated throughout the fight. A very frustrating fight to watch. Buckley has no lower half. He's sort of like Usman in the sense he just has no lower half. Even Usman when he was wrestling him down and holding him down, it was pure upper body. He's like Larry the Lobster. So same as Joaquin Buckley, except he's smaller a bit, honestly. Usman looked a lot bigger than him out there. He looked so much more imposing, a lot taller, looked wider, bigger frame. And yeah, every time Buckley would try and try and post up against the fence, he wasn't even using his legs. He was just using his upper body. He should have been scrambling so much more with his legs, but he just wasn't. And every time Buckley would work up against the fence, he would just put his back against it, start driving up. His hips would come up, and then Usman would just tuck him, drop him back down to the mat, just sinking his hips back into the mat from the cage. So very, very frustrating to watch. The first round, Joaquin kind of got teed off on. He was getting beat up, kind of got cut on the right side of his eye, I'm pretty sure. It was kind of leaking throughout the fight. So that first round, yeah, it almost felt like a 10-8 round, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a 10-8 round. Not many people were talking about that, but that was a complete, utter domination in the first round. Cutting him just the whole time, just remaining on top is, yeah, that's a 10-8 round in my opinion. But the 5th round, Joaquin starts tuning him up, actually starts, defending the takedowns. And throughout the fight, from the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, he had more and more time on the feet to tee off on Usman, but just Usman during those early rounds just had more success with the takedowns, more control time, more valuable than the time Buckley had on the feet teeing off on Usman a bit. It wasn't pure utter domination early on the feet, don't get me wrong. It only happened in the 5th round because it started getting hairy for Usman, but people were talking about Usman striking yeah, it didn't look good. It kind of looked shit, to be honest, but he's defending a lot of strikes. In the early rounds, he was blocking pretty much everything that Buckley had on the feet. And then in the 5th round, he was kind of getting teed off on, but he already won the early 4 rounds. So, yeah, bit of an underwhelming, disappointing fight from Joaquin Buckley, but it was good. This is a good learning experience. He has to realize now that he can't just sit on bottom. He has to find an answer. You know what I mean? Just if he does get taken down, he has to have an answer with his legs. He has to be able to hip escape. He has to use his hips. He has to scramble. He has to roll over something. The only thing I saw technical from him on the ground was a fucking closed guard. That was pretty much it. So Buckley has nothing off of his back. He's kind of like a turtle without a shell on his back. And Yeah, that's for sure what he needs to work on. And he has good takedown defense only in the 5th round, I guess. Maybe fresh, he's probably not as good of a takedown defense against Usman. If they had a rematch or something like that, I wouldn't be surprised if Usman gets those first few round takedowns again because, you know, I think it's because Usman was fresh and he was just going to, it was inevitable that he could take down Joaquin Buckley. So, yeah, decent main event. As for the next fight for Joaquin Buckley, I would say, you know what? You could put him against Holland because that's kind of a good rematch. Kind of, boosts Joaquin's stock if he wins because he's defending a loss that he had. But also, maybe like Michael Morales. I know it's kind of unfair for Joaquin if he took Morales. It would be a decent win, but like Morales is coming up, so I don't know how keen Joaquin Buckley is on taking that fight. But as for Kamaru Usman, give him a fight at the top of the rankings. I know he was talking about I want my title shot at the start of 2026. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Do you know like what's going on in the welterweight division right now? There's so many contenders that potentially deserve more. They're more active than you. They haven't lost in a while. Actually, no, some of them have lost, but yeah, you're not the most deserving. Give him like fucking Shavkat or something like that. 2 inactive fucking guys. Just put them in there with each other, because Usman, like, I don't know. He doesn't deserve a title shot for sure. Maybe a title elimination bout, but there's a logjam at 170. So let's just get these young guys that are actually, top contenders. I know Usman's now top 3 potentially now. I don't know if they're gonna put him above Leon because obviously Leon beat him twice. But yeah, he has to be fighting for a contenders fight, not a title shot for sure. So, yep, that was the main event. Kamaru Usman, dominant, unanimous decision. Moving on to the co-main event, Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Oh, wow. What a fight. What a fight. This was actually decent, Early on, they were kind of scrapping. Rose got a knockdown, I believe, in the first round. She got the knockdown. Let me see. I think it was. Pretty sure. No, it was the second round, wasn't it? Third round? Oh, it was the third round. Shit, dude, my fucking memory is horrible. But yeah, they're kind of scrapping in the second round-ish. It was kind of getting boring. Miranda Maverick kind of took her back, but overall, good performance from Rose Namajunas. That is my full analysis on the fight. You can go fuck yourself if you want more. Anyway, the featured fight, I guess. Why is this the featured fight? Oh my god. They need UFC website. You need to fix this shit, dude. Every MMA YouTuber, this is what's been happening. This. If it's going to do it, it won't do it. But you'll only do it when it is not needed. But anyway, feature fight, Edmen Shahbazyan versus Andre Petroski. This was a kind of a boring-ish fight, but Edmen did have himself a good performance. Kind of just kept him at range in the first round. Pepper him with the jab, lead hook. He was jabbing and then lead hooking as Petroski would come in. Like, Petroski would come in, he would jab, and then Petroski would kind of stay there in range and then lead hook right after, and he kind of hurt him with that. But yeah, Edmen would kind of like tee off on him at the end of the round. Yeah. Each round, I mean. Like, so in the first round, he kind of teed off on him at the end. Second round, he kind of teed off on him. But in the third round, dude, Petroski was kind of picking it up and whatnot, kind of landing a bit more in the pocket because Edmen, he doesn't have the best cardio. And it was very a slow-paced fight. They were kind of sitting at range, so I could see why Edmen was, able to kind of just not gas out and just defend the takedowns and just play his game. So, and yeah, Edmen's fucking body kick is wicked, dude. That body kick is insane. I know in the third round, he didn't land on the body. He just kept repeatedly. It wasn't many body kicks that he threw, but when he threw it, it was like crazy whip, crazy rotation, crazy angle to it. So it was a very devastating, powerful, fast kick. Now, I don't see, some bantamweights can't even kick with that speed. You know what I mean? It's very, very fast, very impressive by Edmen Shahbazyan, but as soon as I heard that kick, I'm like, yeah, that dude's left arm, Andre Petroski's left arm is cooked. I don't know if it was right arm or left arm. I think it was his left arm, but yeah, the motherfucker's arm is broken. It's cooked. His elbow joint is gone. Whether it's his forearm or his bicep femoris, that shit's gone. You know what I mean? So, good win from Edmund Shabazian. A little bit boring, but body kicked the shit out of Andre Petroski in the third round and kind of just there was a moment where he was like teeing off on him on the ground about a TKO him, but then Edmund's like, oh shit, I don't want to gas myself out because that's what he's known for. He's not going to just like gas out in the third round and lose even though he was on schedule to win. So, yeah, good performance for Edmund Shabazian. Give him like a pressure wrestler. Not unranked pressure wrestler. We don't need him in the rankings yet before he gets a shot. We need to see him prove that he can go, like a hard 3 rounds. So, moving on. Cody Garbrandt, Ronnie Barcelos. Fucking Cody Garbrandt, dude. First round, kind of running at him, Ronnie Barcelos. Ronnie kind of had nothing. He's a little bit too slow, or quite a bit too slow for Cody Garbrandt in the first round. Cody just let it all loose in the first round. He was trying to aura farm. I don't know if they counted as a knockdown. Yeah, they didn't count it as a knockdown because I get it because Cody was kind of running in, and then sometimes you have no choice but to just fall backwards or look like you get dropped because you're just like off balance because Cody's rushing in. So yeah, he made Ronnie look kind of slow and shit in the first round. But in the second and third round, Cody slowed down significantly and kind of gassed out. That jab was not coming whatsoever, dude. That jab was not popping out there whatsoever. Couldn't find his range. You're not going to just land a naked right hand or a naked low kick at range, especially while you're on the back foot against the fence. So Ronnie was kind of just using his infinite cardio stat of just pressing forward, bobbing and weaving. That uppercut from Ronnie was nasty, but he was very slow from Ronnie. But he's if he does land, it's very technical. It's very kind of slick for someone his age at 38. But yeah, second, third round, Ronnie was kind of just punishing Cody. In the third round, it just got worse and worse. He took Cody's back and Cody had like a last ditch effort at the end. He was trying to tee off on him in the pocket. But Ronnie, I shit you not, he landed like a 10-punch combo in the pocket while Cody was just sitting there and he landed like 2 shots of his own. But I'm like, I'm seeing Cody's head get pinged around. I'm like, oh my god, dude, like this is over for Cody. But he didn't get TKO'd. He fought through it, and yeah, sucks to be Cody. I don't really want to see this guy fight again. But for Ronnie Barcelos, he called out Rob Font. So it's actually a good matchup. Ronnie knows what he's doing with these call-outs, man. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows MMA a little bit. So, I mean, he's a fighter. But he knows matchmaking and his odds of winning and whatnot. So I say, just give him Rob Font. I don't really care about if he wins or loses. Some people are like, oh, stop this fuckery of Ronnie Barcelos, 38-year-old man. It's not a good look for the bantamweight division, but then again, I don't give a fuck. If he's winning, he's winning. If he looks good, he looks good. So what? What if he's the next 39-year-old champion, 40-year-old champion at fucking bantamweight? We have no idea. But, yeah, Ronnie Barcelos kind of robbed him in a way, just put a pace on him and was very physical. Every time Cody would crash in, Ronnie would just kind of shove him back. And there was a lot of ducking down and shoving in this fight, a lot of head clashes. So, yeah. It's an alright fight, just sucks for Cody Garbrandt, and most fans. Yeah, it started getting boring in the second and third round, but is what it is. Good win from Ronnie Barcelos, unanimous decision. Well done, my friend. Moving on, Mansur Abdul Malik. Now this fight right here against Cody Brandic and Mansur Abdul Malik, and the first round was decent. They were kind of scrapping. Or actually, was it the third? I think no, it was the third round they started going crazy because throughout the fight, it was very boring and whatnot. And I think in the third round, Mansur Abdul Malik drops him early on. And then they start teeing off. And then Cody Brundage, I guess, decides to tuck his chin, put his head down, and slug back with Mansur Abdul Malik. And yeah, enough of this Cody Brundage on the main card stuff. It was a very boring fight before that. But let me drink my water real quick. Gotta get your electrolytes in, kid. Don't get any of that sugary shit, though. Not zero sugar, but just don't get any of that bullshit Gatorade ass electrolytes. Anyway, Mansour Abdul Malik, Cody Brundage. And third round was entertaining, but other than that, it was just a fucking stinker before that. You know what I mean? Majority of the strikes were landed in the third round, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Basically half of them. And you could see right here, it was just a sparring match for the first 2 rounds. Very boring. Mansour Abdul Malik gets it done. Why do you have to have such a long ass name, bro? But yeah, enough of Cody Brundage on the main card. Not really much else to say about this fight. Very boring, lackluster fight until the third round. That kind of livened it up a bit, especially with the scrapping and, you know, Cody Brundage getting dropped. But yeah, I don't give a fuck to talk about it any further because there's not really much else to talk about. Moving forward, or behind, I guess, before. Alonzo Menifield versus Umar Sy. This shit was fucking terrible, dude. Boring ass fight. Alonzo Menifield has the IQ of a rock. I don't know what this guy does in the cage. I don't know what his thought process is, but I can break it down. It's essentially he just doesn't throw combos whatsoever. He just throws one shot at a time, and when he does throw a combo, it's off the guard. It's either he's getting finished fucking early on, or he's just going to split decision, unanimous decision, Alonzo Menifield against these bum-ass guys, dude. But Umar Sy, let's not give him a break either. Umar Sy in the first round was showing these naked kicks, but after Alonzo kind of cracked him a bit and ran forward and threw his blundering combos, Umar Sy was reluctant to be on the feet and throw his naked kicks, because that's kind of what he does on the back foot. You throw a teep and shit, low kick on the back foot, and yeah, you can't really do that, I guess, against Alonzo Menifield because he's very boxing orientated. So he's just gonna fire back with these inaccurate bombs, I should say. He was whiffing a hella in this fight. Both 37% accuracy on their strikes, but this was a fucking terrible fight. Round 1, that goes to Alonzo Menifield. He was doing better on the feet. He kind of stumbled Umar Sy in a couple moments, made him reluctant to attack and whatnot. Second round, Umar Sy just kind of holds him against the fence, works the takedown, holds him down, just smudges him against the fence the whole second round, it felt like. And I guess that goes to Umar Sy. The third round, this was kind of the deciding round, but nobody fucking did anything, bro. It was so boring to watch, bro. So boring to watch in the third round because Umar Sy, the only strike he was throwing was a naked jab and the shittiest long extended 1-2 I've ever seen, bro. That right hand after the jab for the 1-2, he was going straight across his body, and his temple was just right there for right hand, for a jab, anything. And then Alonzo was, countering him back on that. But let's not forget, dude, Alonzo wasn't doing shit, bro. It's just how you're supposed to be the ranked guy, and you're doing this, bro. What's the point of even fucking having you if this is the performances we get? Either we see you get finished, or you just go to a fucking boring split decision. So, yeah. Fucking dog shit ass fight. And in the third round, the commentators are like, oh, somebody can steal the round, steal this fight with a flurry at the end. But, yeah. Alonzo Menifield landed that bigger shot at the end, and kind of just, I thought he won the fight. So, yeah, some people were like, oh, Umar Sy. No, Umar Sy did not win that fight. Alonzo Menifield gets it done. Boring ass fight. Another boring ass fight on the card. Wait until we get to a so-and-so fight, if you know what I mean. You'll see it in a second. Previous fight, Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. This was kind of a fucking goofy goober fight. Such a Paul Craig fight. Round 1, Rodolfo Bellato's kind of getting his game on, to be honest, and Paul Craig wasn't doing half bad, I won't lie. Bellato gets him down, kind of is just holding him on the ground, just winning the round, I guess. And Paul Craig, you can see from those total strikes, he was kind of firing off his back and stuff like that. And, Bellato was just winning the round. It was 30 seconds left. You would think that nothing could possibly go on. That's what I think usually. I'm like, I can kind of chill out for this last 30 seconds of this round because surely nothing could happen. But fucking no. Rodolfo Bellato gets upkicked by Paul Craig. And I shit you not, Rodolfo Bellato pulls some, Grammy Award-winning acting. Not very good acting, to be honest. But he fell back, pretended to be knocked out, and the way he got up and, fell back on the cage and, sprung up, it was so funny, bro. He's like, did I get him? Was that good? No, bro. It was not fucking good. He was trying to get that, DQ win, but it was just a no contest. He got struck on the neck, but apparently Paul Craig said that Rodolfo Bellato told him that he didn't remember anything. That's not how somebody wakes up from a KO. You realize that, right? It's I don't know why I said you realize that, like you were arguing with me or not, but yeah, when you wake up from a KO, it's like you wake up from being hungover. You ever seen Alex Pereira wake up, Usman or anything? They wake up, they're like, what? What happened? They don't spring up immediately and run around and shit because their equilibrium's not fully there. They you know what I mean? It takes them a moment to stand up. They need to be, stood up with assistance and stuff like that. So Rodolfo Bellato didn't get the memo on what it actually looks like to be concussed. At least Aljo got up and pretended to be concussed at the end, but Bellato was just like, I'm fine, I guess. Just woke up and was fine. You know what I mean? Woke up very suddenly. So, yep, very good acting from Rodolfo Bellato. I don't give a fuck about the outcome of this fight. I just thought it was funny that Paul Craig got an upkick KO, bro. It wasn't a KO, but he just struck him on the neck. It didn't look insanely hard, but it didn't look comfortable to receive for sure. So, yep. What a goofy goober fight. Rodolfo Bellato, you are a Grammy Award winning motherfucker for... Actually, no, not Grammy Award winning. Shittiest actor. 43% rating on Rotten Tomatoes for you, my friend. And fight before pulling out from herpes. What is this? Is this dude a villain? Is this guy a legend at the same time? Who is this man? Who is Rodolfo Bellato? What does he want from the UFC? All right, let's move on to the previous fight. Oh my god, dude, this is the fight I was talking about. The so-and-so fight. Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. Such a dog shit, fucking boring fight. Two old men just kind of... Michael Chiesa on the back foot, firing back once in a while. No grappling or anything. And got Court McGee bobbing and weaving, again, tagged up with the straight punches. It was kind of getting hairy for Michael Chiesa in moments. Court McGee landing some big shots on Michael Chiesa. Fucking dog shit fight. Why are we rewarding shit like this, bro? Why does this need to be on a card? Why does this need to be shown in the first place? Just throw this on an Apex early prelim, bro. This should not be on a fight night. It should not be on a pay-per-view. I know this is not a pay-per-view, but this should never. If this was on a pay-per-view, dude, I don't even know what to say. Not on a main card, but an early prelim or prelim. This is such a disgraceful fight. This fight should just stay in the gym. This fight should have just been a fucking sparring session at this point. Just take the shit off the card. Don't upload this on the UFC. Nobody wants to rewatch this fight. Horrible, disgraceful shit by these old men. Why are we rewarding Michael Chiesa? What has he done? What is his next fight gonna be? Is it just gonna be another fucking blob? Old man blob? Court McGee is so ass too. Just both of them are ass. I know Michael Chiesa is a little bit better, but Court McGee is just terrible, dude. This is a disgraceful fight to watch. It was really I was watching this at work, bro. I was doing some work, doing my job, and I'm looking. I'm bro, I have to make a breakdown for this shit. What do I break down technically? It's just fucking two old men running around the cage. Court McGee trying to walk him down, but Michael Chiesa kind of getting the better of the exchanges. So enough of this fight. I'm done talking about it. There's not much to talk about. Dog shit, boring fight. No takedowns, no control time. Michael Chiesa wins. Moving on. Malcolm Wellmaker. Okay, this is an actual KO, actual finish on the UFC Atlanta card. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Moutinho. In the early first round, Malcolm Wellmaker lands some bombs on Chris Moutinho. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be quite early for Mr. Chris Moutinho. Couldn't get starting whatsoever. But then, kind of midway through the first, or just after that, Chris Moutinho was kind of just like grabbing him, pushing him, making like Malcolm Wellmaker work. Honestly, work. I really thought, I'm like, oh shit, is Chris Moutinho going to drag this guy into the second round or something like that? But he was just trudging forward, pushing him, shoving him. He really was. It felt like he was that grown man strength. It felt like Malcolm Wellmaker was kind of reacting in the grappling, standing up, from the clinch and stuff. He was just trying to just unpin himself to just land a big blow on Chris Moutinho, and that's what he did. Midway through the round, he throws like this weak ass body kick. I must say, he doesn't have the best kicks in the world, but that, you know what I mean. The kicks set up the punches, and the punches are his money maker. He's got the power in those hands. That's all that matters, because he feints. He throws a rear body kick, but then immediately after, he kind of lifts that rear knee, and at the same time, he throws a rear hook, but he stomps. So that kind of like loads up that rear hook so much more, and he kind of curved it around Chris Moutinho's guard. A very looping yet short hook that put Chris Moutinho out, flatlined him, face planted him. And yeah, sucks to be Chris Moutinho. I think they cut him as well. What was the point of bringing this guy in? Why is this? Are they just gonna summon Chris Moutinho again for the next bantamweight prospect? Like, what is this? Is this like some ritual? Is this like some sacrifice and goodwill to the upcoming bantamweight prospect that they have to smoke Chris Moutinho? So this sucks to be for Chris Moutinho. He probably deserves a better chance. He didn't even look bad, to be honest. He just got caught. You know what I mean? It is what it is. He's not the most impressive guy, though, I will say. Very physically underwhelming compared to, Malcolm Wellmaker is actually like a jacked, like strong, taller bantamweight. Very big for the division. We talk about Payne Tabbitt being big, but Malcolm Wellmaker's probably a lot more stout, and he's probably just got more raw power than someone like Payne Tabbitt or like Sean O'Malley. I know that's kind of a crazy take, but Sean O'Malley doesn't really have power in his hooks. He's got very good straight punches, but just no power in his hooks compared to like a Malcolm Wellmaker or something. So very interesting for what Malcolm Wellmaker. I want to see him jump up, give him like an Adrian Yanez or something like that. That would be good. A little bit more of a bump up though, because Chris Moutinho is kind of a step back from Cameron Simon. So yeah, very dangerous hooks for Mr. Malcolm Wellmaker. And his first fight, lead hook KO on the back foot, fucking face planting Cameron Simon out cold. Same thing with Chris Moutinho, except with the rear hook. So now we got to see some other weapons for Mr. Malcolm Wellmaker. I don't really see him having the most crazy kicks. I feel like his kicks are just there to set up his crazy powerful punches. So yep, good KO for Malcolm Wellmaker. I like him. I really do. I like his I liked his post fight interview. He's very like just humble and just wants to learn. You know what I mean? Very good, bright future for Mr. Malcolm Wellmaker. Only thing really is just the technical side. I don't see him being the most technical, refined guy, like those people have been training for 10 plus years, or like some people from the Caucasus, they're just so drilled in. He doesn't remind me of a technical fighter. He just reminds me of a pure talent, athletic beast. So good future for Mr. Malcolm Wellmaker. We'll move on to the previous fight, Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. This was actually a pretty decent fight. Jose Ochoa gets him out of there in the second round by TKO. He looked good this fight. I know, Cody Durden kind of held him down for a bit, but Jose Ochoa, he's very impressive. He kind of gets out of those positions, and he eventually, TKO'd Cody Durden. Very impressive. Cody Durden's no like slouch, so he's beaten people like Matt Schnell and whatnot. So yeah. And Jose Ochoa, the only person that he's lost to in the UFC was against Loner Kavanagh, and that's kind of the bantamweight's young up-and-coming prospect right now. I was calling that out before everyone started hyping up Loner Kavanagh. So I'm a big fan of Loner Kavanagh. Anyway, this is his victim right here. So good for Jose Ochoa. Very promising for him as well. Good fight. Gets the TKO in the second round. Would love to see more from him. Match him up with somebody good. Maybe I don't know. Matt Schnell, maybe. I don't know if Matt Schnell's in the UFC anymore, but I just threw that out there for the fuck of it. But yeah, moving on. Ricky Simone versus Cameron Smotherman. Ricky Simone gets it done, kind of holds him up against the fence the whole time, took him down, controlled him throughout. I don't know what he said to Ricky Simone said, "You're under arrest against the fence," and Cameron Smotherman was like, "That's racist." I mean, I get that, to be honest, but, you know, you took it the wrong way. I guess Cameron Smotherman took it a certain way, and Ricky Simone, I don't know if he meant it that way or he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I don't know. I really thought, for some reason, Ricky Simone was, like, Australian or something. I thought he would have, like, an Aussie accent, but then I heard him talk. I'm like, oh, this dude's, like, a American. Like, he's, like, a country American, sort of. So, kind of a shock for me from Ricky Simone. But good win from him. You know, a bit boring. Yeah, another smudge decision. Or actually, no, the previous fight he did knock out Javid Bashrat. So good to see Ricky Simone actually get some wins because he was on that losing streak for a while. Lost to Song Yadong, lost to Mario Batista, lost to Vinicius Oliveira. He was kind of on the brink of getting cut, but no, nice to see him back in the UFC. Gets a win, defeats Cameron Smotherman by smudge grappling control decision. Okay, moving on. Phil Rowe versus Andre Lusso. This was fucking brutal, bro. This was like genuinely assault. Like, I don't even know what to call this. Phil Rowe just beat the living shit out of him in the third round, bro. I shit you not. Phil Rowe gets dropped and whatnot in the second round, I'm pretty sure. But no, Phil Rowe is winning the majority, but I guess Phil Rowe gets Andre Lusso on the cage, and Andre Lusso, like, you think this guy is strong because he's built as fuck, but no. He's genuinely a victim on the cage. Like, he has nothing on the cage. Just smudge me against the fence. I'll stand up straight with my chin up in the air, just palm my face and smash right hooks to the tip of my chin and eye. That's what was happening at that finishing sequence. He palmed his face. Fingers went in the eye, but that was the least of this motherfucker's worries because he was getting clipped on the tip of the chin repeatedly by fucking Phil Rowe. Then a couple to the eye, and that's what fucked up Andre Lusso's eye, made him look like a cyborg for a moment. He literally looked like Cyborg from DC, bro. Yeah. Horrible look for Andre Lusso. I actually felt bad the way he just, like, his mouth was open. He was just like, boom, boom, boom. Just tip of the chin, eye, tip of the chin, tip of the chin. I'm like, and then he just finally crumbles and falls down. Good win from Phil Rowe. I know he's kind of been on the losing skid until now, but good win from Phil Rowe. Insane position to have a man in, though. Just, you can't even circle out, do nothing. That, like, is he that rocked to where he's just, like, stood up and just laying on his back, I guess? Like, he was stood up straight. I don't know if Phil Rowe is literally holding him up with his arm like that. I don't know how he would do that. It would be a lot heavier, but I think as soon as Phil Rowe kind of let go, Andre Lusso just crumpled to the ground and then finished him there. So, yep. Good win for Mr. Phil Rowe. Andre Lusso, I don't know what to do with you, buddy. Sucks to suck. Don't do that again. But the last fight to talk about, Jamie Lynn Horth versus Vanessa Demopoulos. Jamie Lynn Horth gets it done. She outputs her throughout the fight, lands a lot more strikes. Vanessa Demopoulos obviously did not out-volume Jamie Lynn Horth, judging by the stats. Didn't watch this fight whatsoever. So that's my breakdown and prediction, or that was my breakdown and analysis of this UFC Fight Night, Usman versus Buckley in Atlanta. Let me know what you guys think in the video. I will be dropping a prediction video for UFC Azerbaijan and the fucking Rafael Fiziev and whatnot. I don't know why they're going there, but I guess, you know, why not? You always go to the same places. Why not just go there to the region where they're actually producing a lot of talent? So, yeah. Again, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Also, check out, I do run an Instagram page. It's called G Money Combat, so G_Money_combat. And essentially, if you're an up-and-coming fighter, or just a young fighter, or just someone starting out, doesn't know what to do for training protocols, let's say for like strength and conditioning, if you're, you know, active fighter but just don't have time to do research on strength and conditioning protocols, you can join my free Discord server. Just DM me on Instagram at GMoneyCombat, as I just said, and on TikTok, same name, same GMoney_combat. And yeah, you can DM me there for the link. You'll have access to a free Discord server, so you'll have access to strength and conditioning protocols, so strength workout and a conditioning workout. And if you want to be a personal client, you can submit a video of you hitting the heavy bag or shadow boxing, and I'll give you a 10-minute breakdown, followed up by a little bit personalized 2-week strength and conditioning protocol, and then I can get you on a call, like a phone call, and we can talk about maybe further programs and whatnot. So that was my interjection at the end. Again, you don't have to do that, but if you are up and coming fighter, just feel free. I do mentor, and I do have experience myself, if you're wondering. But yeah, I'm actually going to school for exercise science, so I can actually give you a strength and conditioning program if you're wondering. So that was it for the video. Like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, goodbye. What's my OBS doing?